Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is unlikely to go far in his career, and honestly, he probably isn't even talking big. He prefers to stick to what he knows and follows the rules rather than trying bold ideas or climbing new heights. He values stability over success, so don't expect sudden rises or fancy titles from him.
Can he bounce back from failure?
He is more likely to just keep going rather than falling apart when things go wrong at work. He can handle stress quietly and doesn't let emotions take over, so you won't see him yelling or throwing a tantrum. He's steady, but don't expect sparks or sudden comebacks.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work probably see him as quiet and dependable, but not very warm or friendly. He doesn't get into big fights or cause open trouble, but he also doesn't go out of his way to be kind or make friends. He mostly keeps to himself, minding his own business.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he probably won't feel threatened or insecure. He tends to stay in his own lane and doesn't compare himself much to others. He'll keep steady and let you shine, though recognition may be quiet and low key.
What if you start earning more than him?
He is not likely to secretly resent you or feel insecure if you earn more than him. He mostly accepts things as they are and doesn't worry much about competing or comparing. Money matters won't become a battle between you two.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He is quite careful with money and doesn't spend without thinking. He likes to stick to routines and is likely to keep a close eye on where every rupee goes. You probably won't see him making impulsive purchases or wasting money on things that aren't needed.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives well within his means and doesn't pretend to be richer than he is. You won't find him showing off with expensive gadgets or trying to impress others with a flashy lifestyle. He is practical and careful, making sure not to spend more than he earns.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is quite tight with both money and his mindset. While you can count on him not to waste resources, you might feel he holds back when it comes to sharing, whether it's spending on gifts, helping others, or even opening up emotionally. He believes in saving and being cautious, so don't expect grand gestures or a lot of warmth.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is likely to be straightforward about money, not secretive or controlling. He prefers clarity and sticking to plans, so you usually know where things stand with him regarding finances. He isn't the type to hide expenses or play games with money decisions.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe housework should be done properly, but he may quietly expect you to take the bigger share of it. He values routines and likes things in order, so he might get bothered if the house is messy. Open conversation early on can help set fair expectations for both of you.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is more likely to stand back and supervise rather than roll up his sleeves and actually help with chores and diapers. He likes things to be neat and in order, but he's not quick to pitch in himself. You may notice that he points out what needs to be done or how it should be done instead of just quietly getting on with it.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He usually doesn't argue just to prove he's right, but he also doesn't put in much effort to understand your side. When there's a disagreement, he tends to keep quiet and stick to his own way of thinking rather than truly listening to how you feel. You might feel like your opinions hit a wall. He's not picking a fight, but he's also not reaching out to meet you halfway.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he usually stays calm and doesn't say hurtful things or act aggressive. Instead of yelling or lashing out, he tends to become quiet and distant. While he doesn't attack with words, his coldness can make you feel shut out or lonely.
Does he have a bad temper?
No, he's not the type who gets angry very quickly. His temper is steady and he prefers to avoid big displays of emotion, whether it's shouting or sulking. When he does get upset, he keeps it inside rather than exploding or creating a scene.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it hard to say sorry or openly take responsibility when something goes wrong. He won't usually blame you directly or pick a fight, but he also doesn't admit fault easily or talk about what happened. This can leave you feeling unheard or like problems never really get solved.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is likely to respect your boundaries and understand that no means no. He sticks to rules and prefers to keep things orderly, so he won't push hard if you say no to something. If something is important to you, make your boundaries clear and he will quietly follow them.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He is not likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Because he isn't very expressive or emotional, your no won't be seen as an insult or a rejection of him. He will accept your decision without making a fuss, sulking, or trying to pressure you.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He's not the sort to use your private matters against you or to embarrass you later on. He values order and respects boundaries, so your secrets and intimate moments are safe with him.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful and not easily distracted by other women. He prefers routine and stability and isn't usually one to go looking for excitement or chase after new people. If loyalty and steadiness are important to you, he is someone you can rely on in this area.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he isn't over possessive or overly suspicious. He stays in his own space and doesn't spend much energy trying to control or check up on you. If anything, he may seem a bit distant rather than possessive.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature isn't really a sign of being controlling. He likes order and routines but doesn't have a strong drive to control or dominate others. You won't find him making rules for you, monitoring your friends, or interfering in your choices.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will likely see parenting as a set of responsibilities, but may still expect you to take on most of the work, especially day to day care. He will follow routines, make sure things are orderly, and step in when clearly asked. But he isn't quick to share the emotional or hands on parts of parenting on his own. If you want true teamwork in parenting, you'll need to communicate openly and set clear expectations together.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He prefers quiet and order, so instead of yelling or getting angry, he may go silent or withdraw to avoid dealing with too much drama. If comfort and warmth matter, you might need to step in to fill those emotional gaps.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will quietly respect your role as both a mother and your own person, but don't expect big encouragement or active support. He won't stand in your way or make demands that limit your independence, and he's not likely to compete with or resent your success. However, he's not expressive or very involved in sharing feelings, so you might miss out on open appreciation or help balancing both worlds.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he isn't the kind of man who will pretend to support your career now and then, pressure you to quit after you have a child. He likes routines and stability, and once he accepts your work as part of daily life, he is unlikely to suddenly change his mind or start making demands later. He usually means what he says, even if he isn't very vocal about his support.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He will most likely act polite on the surface but won't show much real warmth toward your parents. He values good manners and keeping things orderly, so he'll be respectful and do what's expected, like greeting them or following social rules. If your family values warmth, laughter, and open arms, you might need to take the lead in creating that bond and set gentle expectations with him. He is more likely to quietly adjust to your family's ways rather than expect everyone to change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly and avoid making things worse. He isn't one to start arguments or add fuel to the fire. Instead, he tends to become quiet, step back, and hope the situation settles on its own.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, this is the kind of man who may be modern and accepting with you when it's just the two of you, but he is likely to expect you to act like a traditional, supportive wife, daughter in law, in front of his relatives. He respects routines and social expectations, especially in family settings. While he may not say much directly, you could feel pressure to dress a certain way, be extra polite, or follow family customs when his relatives are around.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is most likely to stay out of it rather than clearly support you or side with his family. He doesn't like conflict and prefers to keep things peaceful, so he may go quiet and hope the problem resolves itself. He won't openly take anyone's side or make a big fuss, but you might feel alone handling the situation.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He's not openly a mummy's boy, but he also isn't quick to take your side if there's a conflict with his mother. He avoids getting in the middle and prefers that everyone keeps the peace. This means you may sometimes feel unsupported and left to handle tough moments on your own.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not the type to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He values privacy and keeps personal matters to himself, preferring not to involve others in your relationship issues. While he might seem distant or reserved, you can trust that what happens between you two usually stays between you two.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so so, not too good, Not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being in a relationship with this man feels steady and predictable, but can also feel a bit dry or emotionally distant. Every day runs on routines. Meals, home tasks, and habits happen at set times, and you'll rarely face surprises or dramatic changes.